All right, we got part two. Part two, we got DJ Akademiks is about to talk about his interaction with Dave Free, and I think he's gonna talk about Kendrick Lamar. It seemed like Dave Free and Akademiks had a conversation, so let's see what they talking about.
Girls, or sometimes little boys that came with their, you can tell parents were bringing their kids, and who knows, they might have fucked with a song from TikTok, or who knows why they're there. But there's a misnomer and like a misrepresentative of like an idea that hip hop is like super pro black or like hell fucking no. And by the way, shout out to Mustard, because I showed up that early. I seen his opening stuff. Yo, the nigga was playing Katy Perry and all that shit. What's that name of that song? And the Jay-Z song was on. Nigga, they went crazy. Nigga, they went crazy to that like it was not like us, nigga. And the Jay-Z song was on. So, hey, yo, yes, but at the end of the day, like if you love hip hop, you want hip hop to be the biggest genre. You need that. You need those people who maybe they only like 3 or 4, maybe 5 Kendrick, and maybe 3 or 4 or 5 SZA songs. But that's what they're playing on TikTok, and they want to come see the show. Who gives a fuck? So anyway, I only say that to say, yeah, the demographics in there was what I would expect any state. I've never been to a Beyonce show though. Burna Boy's the only stadium show I've seen. Him and Vibes Cartel. Well, that Vibes Cartel was arena. But still, you gotta imagine that's straight Jamaicans and thugs in there. But most arena shows is white people and kids, and parents bringing kids. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But anyway, let me look. What's going on in the chat? Oh, I gotta open. Let me open King Akademiks real quick. Yeah, I wish I could stream in there. I couldn't stream in there. We vlogged. We definitely vlogged. Somebody said so the concert was mid. I wouldn't say the concert's mid. So all right, so okay, let me clarify that. The concert isn't mid. I think it's a really good performance. I keep telling you, Kendrick's one of the better performers in hip hop. Actually, one of the best. I give it up to him. I think his, and I'm about to sound gay. His breath control. He raps every line. Okay, that do sound gay, right? He raps every line. He's a really good performer. That he doesn't need a backing track, bro. He's really into it. He's a really good performer. The show itself is a pretty good show. My overall opinion about the show is tainted, and that's why I said it might be because of, I'm in a suite. I'm watching hot and cold, like fans, like I could tell, like some of these little white girls, like they like some songs they really knew, and some songs they were like, what is this? And that, I guess that was odd, like, because I'm used to seeing people knowing everything. Nigga, at the Weekend concert, I was the nigga, and I'm like the only one who's saying, yo, does anybody know this? Or no, I didn't say anybody. I said, what's the name of the song? And I love the Weekend, but like, Weekend got some pop songs I don't know. But everybody was in the Weekend concert singing every fucking word. 100%, every word. Like, they'll start singing a song by they hear the first drum hit. And I'm like, what the fuck, how do I know this shit? So I guess that's the only thing I took away from it. And it's not a negative, because I do think that both of them are expanding their fan base, and they're cross-referencing their fan base. I could tell there were some women up in that bitch that they only love SZA. And they didn't, like, they knew the big Kendrick songs, but they know every big Kendrick songs. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I got a halter top on. Man, stop playing with me, gang. Oh, my stomach showing pause, man. Stop, leave me alone. I'm losing weight, gang. But yeah, other than that, let me see. Anything else to talk about? I missed half of the trial. We'll be back on stream in the morning, so don't you worry. Come to the Vibes Cartel show. I'm gonna be there. Somebody said, Ack, you got the leg up, man. Bruh. Somebody said, Ack about to switch the light bulbs. D says, Drake does 4 arena shows every city. That's a stadium. He's smarter to know. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. And I guess this is where I gotta think about it before I like fully say it, because I love seeing hip hop in an arena, in a stadium. But like, I can tell you, when I was at Drake's show, it was a sing along. The nigga, there was no reason for him to ever perform a song. Everybody sung the entire night, and I'm pretty sure everybody lost their voice. That wasn't the case here. But Kendrick's show isn't for that. That's why I was saying the first 20 minutes is more my speed, because we're speeding through hits, right? Like, Kendrick's gonna give you some cuts. He's also gonna give you some different, different melodies in terms of he's gonna perform some songs a little bit different. So I don't want to judge him on that. I don't want to judge him on that. But I thought it was cool though. I thought it was cool. Don't look at the negative parts of what you might think I'm saying. Again, Kendrick's performance, I think, is stellar. It's stellar. The crowd is hot and cold. It's like, and I remember saying this before I came. Remember I got into this little back and forth with Hello Random, when I was just like, I'm wondering if everybody is turning up to the whole discography or for certain songs. I got confirmation. Nobody can tell me different. I was in the building. They turn up selectively for different moments. DNA lit. But But there's certain songs. GNX songs too. I'm gonna be honest with you, because most of them came out in the first 20 minutes. Lit. I ain't even gonna cap with you. They were going crazy. Somebody said I'm going to Chris Brown's tour. Now here's the thing. I done promised so many women I'm bringing them. I'm getting a party bus. Yo, Chris Brown, I need 25 tickets. Yo, I done promised so much. Did y'all see that DM I posted where the chick was just like, yo, if you get me Chris Brown tickets, I'll suck yo. I was like, what? Yeah, this what y'all doing for Chris Brown tickets? So anyway, when Chris Brown comes here, I'm bringing 25 people. I gotta bring 25 people. But I want to see Chris Brown's performance. And I want to see, you see, Chris Brown might be different because I think, like, with all due respect to Kendrick, he's hitting a new plateau in his last year. You see, now I was about to order some food. Now y'all make me bro, I'm being fair with y'all. Like, you know what I mean? I could sit here and just kind of like be mad. Oh, y'all like my Lego? That's that Diddy move, man. That's that Diddy move, dog. I should have came to the Toronto show. Did any slaves get free tonight? Somebody said, don't tell me you're having a hotel night in Detroit. Bruv. I ain't gonna lie. When Diddy was having hotel nights, everything would be red. And this would be the couch that like a Cassie or a Daphne was getting fucked on though. Like in real talk, this would be the couch. This would be the couch. Where's the Henny? The only time the liquor store is this is kind of weak. Kendrick has some of the most efficient streaming stats in the game. I get what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. What I'm saying to you, right? Again, we're talking about a concert today, brother. We're talking about a concert. And all I'm saying is that I wouldn't say Kendrick doesn't have a stadium performance. I would just say I think the crowd that is attracted to Dot on this GNX tour, and I'm only basing off one date because I'm only basing off what I'm saying ain't no motherfucker on earth could tell me different because I seen them on two eyes. Brother, I posted it. Go look at my Instagram. You can see hot and cold moments, like moments where they're just like sitting there watching, like, okay, what is this? And moments are like, oh shit, squabble up. Yeah, like, brother, I'm not lying. Brother, look at y'all. Yo, y'all really, I'm in Detroit. I'm with no women here. I just want to let y'all know. There's with no women here. Jesus Christ. Yo, Letitia with the 6 talking about what's the longest freak off you had. Letitia, what's wrong with you, girl? Yo, chat. I think I told him that. Yo, a chick hit me up and she was. Somebody says, oh my God. Somebody said, do you think that Kendrick will be able to maintain these numbers moving forward without the Drake beef crush for his next album? That's very interesting. What I believe is going to happen here is that, I think Dot has to convert these into true fans. I don't think they're true fans. I'm going to be honest with you. I think there are people who realize Dot is the wave. It's like having a hit song. You ever see, like, I'm not calling him a one-hit wonder, but like, you see the nigga with the wave and everybody's like adopting to it, but, or maybe they're new fans and maybe they're going to listen to everything else.
Oh boy, this dude just gotta find some way to hate.
I could be wrong, right? But I distinctly saw people who only got on the bandwagon after a certain time. I think that's why it was hot and cold. Certain songs, they were like, I don't know about this one. As opposed to, I think when you have that core audience that's there, they listen to, they're bumping.
Not every song is a jump around. Like, God, this dude is so annoying, man. He gotta act like every song that an artist perform gotta be a club banger. This nigga's so annoying.
And just wild into every song. So, again, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I went to one show. I'm in the suite, but I think I have a good perspective of everything. Yeah. Somebody said, why the camera moves? What the hell? Somebody said, Detroit strip club tonight. What strip club should we go to now? Tracy says, you're in a suite. We have videos of fans turning up, rapping, singing everything word for word. See, that's another thing. Anytime people tell y'all shit like this, y'all get upset at them. So there's probably a million videos of people turning up. Y'all saw me like vibing out to songs tonight. That's not what I'm saying to y'all. It's like when Kai said it about the Super Bowl, like, oh no, there were some like dull moments. Y'all like, what? You're hated. Like, that's my this is the only reason I say K-Boss, because y'all don't like any opinion that doesn't call this man Jesus. What I'm literally telling you is that his performance is dope. But watching the crowd and for their reaction, look at how I videoed everything. I showed the crowd mostly before I showed him, because I needed to see. It ain't about how I respond to him. It's about how they respond to him. There's sometimes they were just kind of like standing there, like, okay. And then other times they were absolutely lit. That's what I'm saying. Niggas probably recorded the times they were absolutely, like, nobody wants to record when they're not lit. What the fuck? And I don't think this should be a Drake versus Kendrick thing. Again, I've challenged Drake to do a stadium tour. I know how his arena tour looked. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I had to compare arena tour to arena tour, I think Doc's Arena tour was really good. I mean, I like Drake's a little bit better, but I'm biased because I know every song. So when everybody's singing, we all got our hand around each other like we're the world. I'm singing every song. I got my eyes on you. I must be too confident. Yeah, all of that. So anyway, so I said, notice I pointed this earlier. Y'all see I was lying. Now you're doing it real time, chat. Oh, see? They're acting like I'm lying about the crowd. Joshua Wade, thank you for the 10 though. He says, yo, Ack, shout out my girl, Cynthia Crawford, for me. Bro, why did you say your girl's name on here? Niggas about to Google her. Shout out back here. Yo, like, this is the chat. Like, what do you think this is? Like, it's all good. Go to Ace of Spades on 8 Mile. I heard a rapper got shot over there. I'm good. Somebody said this like Diddy's room. Come on, people. Stop. Did I meet Dave? Okay, see, now you're trolling. Now you're trolling. Now you're trolling. Yeah, again, I've given my analysis of how I think performances are. I thought Kendrick had a more complete show for Mr. Morale and Big Steppers than Drake for the tour I saw then. That wasn't It's a Blur, because whatever I saw then, that was 2022. Like, Kendrick had a better, well, not better, more complete show. Like, it was, you're like, wow, I feel like I'm watching, like, a fucking performance. Drake's show had more vibes just because he just has more hits. Like, the nigga just has to walk on stage and they play the beat. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, they just start singing Marvin's Room. Like, the nigga doesn't, the nigga don't gotta sing Marvin's Room at all. Everybody just sings it for him. You gotta think about it. So, you got some more insight about Drake's album? I'll give you guys some insight a little bit later. But yeah, it's the first time I talked to Dave Free in a while. You know, I'm gonna pray for, you know, I did say this to Anthony Saleh. I said, the reality of what's happening now, because one thing I can say, okay? Both of them agreed and said, we understand that this musical feud is divisive. It has been good for music, and, you know, we did our thing and we're happy about it. But it is at the point where it's gotten personal, and the parts we don't like about it is when ancillary people get consistently thrown in the mix. Their lives are trying to get, people are picking apart, people are digging into this, that, and the third about this, that, and the third. And what I told both of those men, because they even said, yo, act like, you know, like some of your platforms echo some of this stuff. And I said to them, I said, brother, you're acting like this is on one side. This is happening on both sides. So if you feel like this thing has gotten too personal and you don't like when this happens and this happens, you have to realize there's fans, blogs, or whoever doing that to the other side. And I told Anthony, I said, brother, at some point, y'all don't got to be friends, but y'all need to come together to kind of calm the fans down, because right now they think they're beefing like Bloods and Crips. If you're saying you don't like when wives are put up on screen, you don't like when wives are being discussed, you don't like when daughters, sons, I don't think Drake likes when his son gets mentioned, or his baby mama, or his sexual history, or his lack thereof, or making assumptions about what he may have. This is happening on both sides. So, you know, when I hear them put that frustration out to me, I agree. But it's a mutual in a both ways thing that I don't think, even if they're like, all right, could you not amplify certain things? Well, there's other things being amplified. We're usually trying to just be a neutral arbiter. Now, obviously, sometimes, and I'm speaking about, like, you know, extensions of other pages that clearly are in the fold, we may lean a certain type of way because, yeah, fuck with Drake. He's our favorite rapper. You know what I mean? But this battle is gotten to the point, it's over, and niggas is still taking it so personally and so far that, yeah, niggas would, I seen some fans say, well, Drake was trying to fuck a child when he was in Australia. Come on now. That's over the board. Just like how they would agree, and they were like, yo, people mentioning homie's wife still outside of the battle. That's over the board too. I agree with that, right? I said to both men, I'm like, listen, I had to remind both of them. I said to Bay Free and I said to Anthony Sella, I said, listen, I came here on my own recognizance. I don't got beef with y'all niggas like that. I don't want to kill y'all. But y'all got with Drake, he might want to kill you. And y'all might want to kill him. Get that. But I'm a media platform. So I came here on my own. Y'all didn't give me tickets, I came here. And if it was really up like that, I want to come here. Y'all would have to catch me where you catch me to do whatever you think you might want to do. Or I would have to catch you where I need to catch you if I intended to do anything at all. So that was a major point. But, you know, I'm glad, you know, I wish they would vocalize this on both sides. I wish both sides would vocalize this. Yo, I don't think Drake want y'all to be saying certain stuff about his family, his kids. The battle's over. It's fucking over. Okay, both of them went low. We get it. One said, yeah, that's not your son. The other said, you're a pedophile. Cool. But the dragging of it, and that's what they told me, the dragging of it, they're kind of over. Now, there was no solution, like, all right, cool, we're going to try to address it ourselves, and maybe, I think the only solution is y'all got to go talk to the other guy who feels away. Because there's two people that feel away. You got to go talk to the other guy that feels away. It's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. So I also said to both people, I said, listen, you know, there's a POV on both sides. Again, it's not my thing or issue to solve or whatever. Anthony told me though. He said, you know, he lamented a little bit about yeah, maybe I'll say that for stream. Yeah. We talked a little bit about the lawsuit. I got a little bit of clarity, at least his perspective on it, and you know. Because the first thing he said to me, he said, Act, why you put that boy on your stream? He got me in Drake's case. And I said, dog, you know I put people on stream that accuse Drake of whatever. You see, that's the thing that, you know, I stand full steadfast on that. I put somebody on my stream named Julian. He said Drake scammed him of millions of dollars. Then you had the K-bots who said Drake killed him. That didn't help Drake. But what am I? I'm a media outlet. So I was telling fair is fair. I was like, listen, the person who introduced me to the person who said that you paid for body streams, I said he's friends of, and I'm going to redact names here. He's friends of people they all know, not friends of Drake. Because I don't know if y'all think he planted him there. Then, and this is the last time I said, I'm probably going to get off. Dave Free had a moment he asked me, he said, Act. He said, what are you getting from this? He says, is he paying you? And that was the most insulting thing and I had conversations with these men for a while. But the very idea that I was like a purchasable commodity was so disgusting. I reminded him, I said, you know, I've been doing this for over 10 years. I've been doing this for over 15 years. How did you think I became me? I said, you knew about me before this shit. How did you think did you think I was a cheap hoe that just could be bought? That was the most insulting thing I could have heard, because his idea was, well, if you're not getting paid by this guy, if Drake ain't paying you, why do you lean that much in that direction? And I was like, I've never gotten paid. Like, the people who I've defended the most, I've never gotten paid from. Now I have my platform benefit, of course. But again, like, we don't do pay for play. Like, you can't buy my pain. I've always said that the moment you can buy my pain, I don't matter. The moment you can buy my pain, I don't matter. Y'all seen Lil Baby was one of my favorite artists. He was my top 3 artists. Then he did this man's album, and I just had to do it. I went on a whole campaign against it. I didn't want to do that. But that's integrity. That's morals. I was getting money with QC. I could have said, well, fuck that. The money's too good. Fuck no. So, you know, that was something that I was a little taken aback by, because I couldn't believe it. And I think Dave Free's a very intelligent guy. I couldn't believe he thought that I was getting paid to maybe have the opinions or the POV that I have. Like, I could be a pawn for Drake or anybody else. That just wouldn't happen. Nevertheless, there was some good conversations. I've gotten, I got Anthony's contact, and hopefully, I told him, I said, listen, throughout the battle, we probably definitely came off very biased, not only because I like Drake and he's my favorite rapper, and anytime my favorite rapper is going against another person, if he's my favorite rapper, I'm going to say my favorite rapper is going to win. But you guys lost communications with us at that time, because again, whether I preferred Drake or not, if you choose to not clear anything up, like today we're talking, they mentioned a few things I didn't know. But when you choose not to involve yourself in clarifying the narrative gets written without you. It always happens like that. I'm in the media. I know how it goes. So, hopefully, my stance won't change. Drake's my favorite rapper. It won't change ever. Okay. Even if me and Drake beefing, depending on what beef. Because when I hit a nigga, I really hit a nigga. But there's no money that somebody could pay me to like make somebody else my favorite rapper. And I hope y'all know that. I'm just a person who like Drake and his music. That's what I mean. His music. That's what I told you. Like, if y'all want me to be something else, I can't be something else. That's why I always saluted. I used to always say, my man DJ Goes. I'm like, y'all want me to be a gangster? I can't be a gangster. I'm not a gangster. I can't give you an opinion of what somebody who's a gang member from LA would think. I can't. So you got to find somebody else to do it. So anyway, other than that, good show. Good. Again, I show up for a reason. I didn't think I showed up to particularly have the conversations that I had, but I was always willing. And if I wasn't willing, I wouldn't go live up in that bitch and show people I was there. And I could have dipped in and out, right? When you seen I wore every chain, well, not every chain. I wore my chain. I came how I came, and we had conversations, and shit, everything's cool. So anyway, I'll try to pop out to another show, and hopefully I could, give a more nuanced perspective for the people who think that, I went there and I didn't get that experience. Okay, it's 12:23.
Whole bunch of bullshit, man. Just a whole bunch of bullshit. Well, one thing that we got from this is he admit his biasness. He is definitely compromised. I don't care what you say. You are definitely compromised. You are fanned out that you have a position or the lack of position. You think you have a position with your favorite rapper. So you fanned out. So you're more biased and you definitely push an agenda, right? All that bullshit you said, yeah, it sounds cool, but there's videos of you purposely lying, of you purposely pushing an agenda, of you purposely running with false narratives to make Kendrick look bad and to make Drake look good. Like, that's evident. It's so many videos out there. This was a whole bunch of crock of shit. All right. He had a conversation with Dave Free. Seemed like maybe he got some more information on, about the personal stuff that both rappers were talking about. And Akademik's full of shit. I'm out. He's so full of shit.